There are some Linux distributions such as Kali Linux and Parrot, specially made for security assessment and penetration tests, because they come up with the tools already installed in it. So you can directly grab that VM and use it in your assessments. If you give a close attention, it is not completely ready to use. You still need to do some manual work before you start using directly in your assessments. For example, if you're using Burp Suite, you still need to install certificates on your browser. If you're using VS Code, you might need to install some of the extensions that you need manually. So these are all the manual tasks involved in it. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate my Ansible project. I used Ansible to automate these manual tasks. You can just do all these manual tasks in just one execution. IPSec is actually inspired me to build this because he already created a similar project, but I took that as an inspiration and I built upon that. I added few more functionalities to it. So without further ado, let me show you that project. And this is the IPSec project. He actually published it on his GitHub repo, and you can clone it and use it if you want. And it is actually published on his YouTube channel as well. He actually made a playlist, a separate playlist by explaining how you can build your own Parrot distribution, which is ready for the assessment. I actually took this and I improvised it, as I said. And now you are seeing my repository. It is still Parrot-Build. I didn't change the name. And you can see there are some differences. I made some improvisations. I'm going to explain what sort of improvisations I made and how you can install it on a fresh Parrot. So once it installed, how it transforms your VM, and it will be ready for the assessment, of course. Now it is available on my GitHub repo. I made it public, and you can feel free to clone it and customize it based on your need. Now let me explain. There are some prerequisites. In Parrot, the Ansible is not installed by default, so you need to install it on your own. So that is why I gave this bash script. So this will be doing all the prerequisites. You can simply execute this bash script to do all that prerequisites installations. So let me open this, and you can see it will be installing the Ansible, and it will be doing some it will be installing some requirements as well. So let's see what is there in the requirement. There is a module, there is a role which is used to install the VS Code. So I am installing this as well in my prerequisite script. Now let me go to the roles repository. Before that, I show you the Parrot's roles repo. Here he has configured logging. He has done some system configuration. He has done the tmux configuration. He has customized the browser terminal, and he has used this particular role to install some tools. And I have still used those roles along with the roles that I created. So let me open one by one and show you this. Before that, you need to start with your main YAML file, because this is what we will be executing with your Ansible playbook binary, and it will be calling all those roles, and the roles will be executed. Okay, and you can see the first one, it will be tmux. So let's go and see one by one. I'm not going it in order, so I'm just going from the top to bottom. Let's see the browser customizations. So in browser customizations, if you are creating a role, there will be plenty of folders created. The one we need is tasks, because this is where all the tasks will get executed, particularly this main file. In main file, I have included 3 custom tasks, and you can see those 3 custom tasks here. So you can see the name itself. The name implies that particular tool, and here I have used this task to customize the Firefox, this one to Kado, this one to Burp Suite. So let's open this Firefox, and I have used this particular task to copy and paste the Firefox policies, the policy that I am copying from my Ansible project to the Linux machine. So when I copy this policy, it will be making those configuration changes. So in this policy file only all the Firefox configuration changes stored. For example, uh, search engine customization, uh, browsing, uh, bookmarks. So all these things will be configured, all these things will be saved in this particular file. So I'm just customizing it. I'm just bringing that file from my project and I'm just pasting it on the repo. So this is what it is doing. And similarly, if you go to Burp Suite, I'm just installing the OpenJDK latest version and I'm building my Burp Suite upon that JDK. And you can see I'm just purging my old Burp Suite and installing the new Burp Suite. I'm not going to go explain you all these tasks. You can go through on your own. I'm just giving you an insight about what it is doing. And you can see the thing, it is installing the certificate automatically. So when you run this task, your browser will be ready to use the Burp Suite. You can directly go and intercept it using Burp Suite. Similarly, Kado. I actually thought to automate this certificate installation tasks as well when you are using Kado, but I could not do that because I could not start this Kado in a headless mode. Headless mode is nothing but starting it in the CLI so that I can automate it through the script. That headless mode usage, actually I got it in the Burp Suite, so I was able to automate that certificate installation, but Kado I could not do that. And moving on, this is that browser customization is done. The desktop customization, I go to task. Here I'm having the Parrot panel. So when I run this task, it will be installing the applications on the task bar, so that I'll be able to open those crucial applications in just one click, the applications that I do use frequently. Moving on, the next one going to be the Bloodhound, Docker and Bloodhound. So Docker is essential for Bloodhound Community Edition. So I have installed Docker and Bloodhound in just one task, and you can see Bloodhound, Docker Debian, and Docker Ubuntu. Docker Ubuntu is nothing but the ARM machine that I'm using. So I have created two different tasks to build your Docker. And here is a task to install the Bloodhound. And you can see I'm cloning from the Bloodhound Community Edition repo, and I'm making some modification. So when I execute this task, it will be running. It will be it will be Docker Compose up the Bloodhound containers, and it will be grabbing the password and it will be storing it in a file. So it will be doing all those initial setup. So what you can do, once you run this script, you can then spawn the Docker container, and you can use the password that are stored in the file. Okay, so this is what this particular task does. And I'm moving on. Logging config. So if you see the IPSec video, I would recommend you to watch the IPSec video. There he has configured some logging that will be storing all your crucial activities. So he has configured the logging such as audit D, and he has customized the firewall, UFW firewall in his parent distribution. So that is what demonstrated in this particular logging config role, the Obsidian Git. So this is actually, I customized it. I created this role. I'm using Obsidian to take my notes, and I'm storing my notes on my GitHub repo in a private repository. So I actually created this task. If you are using Obsidian and GitHub to take and store your notes, you can feel free to use this task. And you can see here I have configured the GitHub thing, and you can see I did not expose any private key or any GitHub API key or any username, password, nothing. This is just an Ansible script, and it will be grabbing the sensitive details from my Ansible vault. If you don't know what is Ansible vault, let me explain briefly. Ansible vault is actually a utility in Ansible. When you are using secrets such as username, password, secret, API keys, private keys. You need not to. I mean, you cannot expose all those sensitive details on your Ansible project, right? So that is where the Ansible Vault came in. You can store that Ansible those sensitive details in a separate file, which will be accessed through Ansible Vault. When you are using an Ansible script, you can simply use Ansible Vault to grab those sensitive details from. So that is the purpose of Ansible Vault is all about. And I have explained, that is what the Ansible Vault is all about. And when you are handling this GitHub sensitive details, you can use the Ansible Vault. Then moving on, the Obsidian. And in Obsidian, I'm just installing the latest Obsidian version from the GitHub repo, and I'm simply cloning my cloning my nodes from my private repository. Since it is private, I need private key to access it, and I can grab that private key from my Ansible Vault. Okay. Moving on, the next one is system config, which will be having the minimal configuration stuff. So this is the sudo configuration. So I am just reconfiguring my sudo so that it won't be asking me to enter the password every time. So which is a simple stuff. And terminal config. So I actually wish to use the terminal style of my wish. So I just use this particular Ansible task to automate that. So if you see this files directory, so here I have added this Ansible, not a profile, terminal profile config. So here I have added this terminal configuration. My script will be using all these files when the task is executed. And it also helped me to learn Ansible in a great deal. Then next, the tmux config. I wanted to customize my tmux because I want to tweak few of the tmux keys. So I have used this particular tmux tasks to do the same. And you can see if you go to files and tmux config, and here is my tmux configuration. And moving on, tools installation. It will be having a lot of tasks because I had to install multiple tools in it. The first one is apt, installing some tools that are not available already in the Parrot. So you can see I have installed all these tools separately through this task. Then gem tools, I had to install tools such as Evil Winaram, which will be used during your Windows pen test or Windows CTF. So that's why I use this. And GitHub tools. Here I actually created one script. I used a Go language to create this. Actually, the IPSec, if you see, he actually created one script, but he used Python to download files from GitHub. I just took this as an example and I created my own Go version of it. So what it will do, it will be looking at the release page of the GitHub. In the release page, if you see, there will be various file types such as tar.gz, gz, zip. So these are all the compressed file types that are available in GitHub release pages. So I'll be cloning various GitHub projects. So all these projects will be having various file types. So what this script does, it will be looking for the extension. Based on the extension, it will be extracting the file and it will be giving me the content. So that's what this Golang script does. So this is just equivalent of this Python script. And I have used this Golang script in my task in GitHub tools. So you can see I am just copying that script and I am installing that script to download the tools from the GitHub release pages. And moving on, and here I am installing the Golang tools. So I want to install some Golang tools such as Kerberos. So I am using this particular task to do that. Then what else? Python tools. I had to install some Python tools, and I have used an interesting project called Python UV, which will be used to handle all those Python related stuffs like creating a virtual environment, installing tools via pip. So all these things will be carried out through UV. So I have installed the UV first, then I have used this UV to do all those stuffs. Moving on, Rust tools, and here I have automated the Rust installation through these 4 tasks. Okay, then Sublime Text I have installed. Along with VS Code, I also prefer to use Sublime Text, so I have used this particular task to install Sublime Text. So all these tasks will be pulling a latest version of the utility, and it will be installing the latest version. So whenever you are running this script newly, you will be getting a latest version of the application, every application. Now this is about the tools installation. Moving to the VS Code installation, and earlier I have shown you I installed a role that will be doing this VS Code installation for me. So I just installed it in my prerequisites, and I'm moving to the tasks. In the main tasks, I'm just mentioning the VS Code extension, and I called that particular role here, and I'm installing all the extensions that I need to install. So it will be installing all the extensions for me. So this is what it is. And yeah, so these are all the roles that I want to showcase. Now this is the project that I created. I will be modifying, I'll be updating this particular project every time. So whenever I wish to install a new tool, or I want to make a change, then I will be changing it often. So you can feel free to clone it and use it anytime you want. Now it's a showcase. Now it's a demo time. Now I'm actually having a fresh Parrot VM. So this is actually a fresh Parrot VM. I haven't done any installation on it. Nothing is installed. I just installed Parrot. So it is already having some tools, but I'm going to customize it via my Ansible script. Okay, so let's see. Now let me clone this project. So you can search Perumal-J. This is my GitHub name to get into my GitHub repo. So here is the Parrot-Build. I'm opening it. So this is my version of Parrot-Build, and I am simply cloning it in this machine. Now let's see. You're going to see how much time it is going to take to do all these activities. If your internet is faster, it will be done in few minutes. Okay, so let's see. Now I'm in the Parrot-Build repo, and I can simply install this prerequisite script. So it will be doing all this apt update, and it will be installing the Ansible for us. So it's going to take few seconds. So before that, I'm going to go and grab my Ansible vault. Now it is installing the Ansible. It is done. Now I'm closing this terminal and reopen it just for the Ansible installation to take effect. Now I can see the Ansible is installed. All right, and I'm going to store my Ansible vault here. So I'm not going to show that in this video. So this is the command to create an Ansible vault. So what it will do, when you give this command, it will be asking you to enter the vault secret. When you enter the secret, it will be opening a blank VA editor. There you can give your private key, username, password, everything. So this is what the concept is. I have created the Ansible vault, and you can see when I try to cat this out, I won't able to see anything. It's all encrypted. So you need that vault key to decrypt this. All right. So this is the excellence of this Ansible vault. You can use it in your script. Now I go to my Parrot-Build directory, and here I cat this main YAML file for a moment. So you can see in this main file, I actually included my Ansible vault. So you can store this Ansible vault inside your Ansible directory, which will be in your local machine. So you are not exporting it to your GitHub repo. You are simply keeping it with you. So this will be used to access my private GitHub repo. All right. Now all I need to do is just one command. Before that, let me make sure I'm having the sudo token. Yeah, and just one command, Ansible playbook main ask vault pass. Now I'm giving the vault password. I gave the vault password. When I click enter, the rest of the things will be happening automatically. So let's see. It is going to install the task one by one, and you can see the status changed here. You can see the title here, the title that I gave in my Ansible project: updating profile list, installing Sublime Text repo, installing Sublime Text GPG keys, which will be used to sign the repo that from where the Sublime Text will be downloaded. So this is the thing. So it is going to take some time. I'm going to pause this video here and unpause once it is done. And it's done. You may see top right to understand how much time it took. It would have been much faster if there were no bulk packages such as checklists, Docker installation. And I also upgraded my distribution via APT through this Ansible. So it took some time, but it's just a one-time task, and you can see the whole thing got changed. There were some app icons installed on my taskbar, so which will be helping me to open an application in just one click. So just for easy access, I have installed all these things, and you can see there were 88 changes, no errors at all, and you can see what all the stuffs it changed. And under every task, you will see its status, whether it got changed or not. So when I install this, when I try to run this for the second time, it will go much faster because all these things are already done. So you will see most of the things as okay or skipped because it's already done. So it's not going to make the changes again. It's not going to redo this. That's the beauty about this Ansible. All right. And let's see what are all the changes that happened. I just closed this window. I just closed this browser window and reopen, just to understand whether the extensions installed. And you can see the browser extensions. I have installed Dark Reader, Foxy Proxy, Bitwarden, which is the password manager I use. So these are all the things that I installed in my browser customization. And apart from that, what else? So it is taking some time, but I think it will eventually be okay. You don't see any changes at all. Let's go and open this VS Code and see whether the extensions got installed properly. You can see I have installed. It is already showing. It started showing some extensions such as Windsurf, Sneak. I have installed the other extensions such as C, C++. So these are all the extensions I installed through Ansible. So it will take effect automatically once it is done. I think sometimes it happens, some weird delay, but apart from that, everything else is good. And you can see the desktop background got changed. I customized it via Ansible. So this is the thing. And the last one thing I want to show is the terminal. I just open another session, and you can okay, I think I need to close this particular session and reopen it. Let's see if it crosses this task. Okay, I interrupt, I close this, I reopen, and you can see the terminal. It got changed totally, and I can simply use tmux with the key that I customized. And what else that I can show? The important thing I need to show is the Bloodhound Docker Compose. I can simply use Docker Compose up -d. No configuration file provided. Okay, I need to go to the OPT directory, and here you can see all the tools that I have installed via Ansible. Here I'm gonna go and open this Bloodhound, and here examples and Docker Compose. So this is where the Docker Compose file exists. So I'll use the command Docker Compose upd here. So it will be bringing up my Bloodhound containers. Yeah, that's it. Simple command. I already installed it. I already picked the password, and I have stored it in a file called temp pass. So this is where the temporary password got stored. So I can just pick this password and use it in my Bloodhound instance. So let's see the port I customized. By default, Bloodhound Community Edition uses port 8080. Since I am running my Burp Suite on 8080, I wanted to change the port, so I have changed it to quad 8. And here I can simply use my email and the temporary password, and I can log in the Bloodhound. So it made a lot easier via this Ansible script. Well, let's see. Let's go and check. Is there anything else that I can showcase to you? Roles, logging, terminal configuration, tmux, system config, Obsidian. Yeah, Obsidian I installed already, and you can see it is already installed. And I also grabbed my notes here from the private repo, so I can simply open these directories via Obsidian, and I can take my notes. VS Code is verified. Tools installation. The tools have already been installed. I installed NetExec to the latest version, and there are other tools too. Let's see. I installed tools like Bloody AD Certify here. What else? And I have installed the impact scripts. You can see the script, such as add computer. So these are all the impact scripts. I can just call its name and call. What else? Do I need to show anything else? Obsidian, system config, logging config, Bloodhound, Docker, desktop customization, browser config. Yeah, I think I've demonstrated all these changes. I think, yeah, we're good to end this video. I hope this will be useful. This project will be useful for you. I'll give the project link in the description, so you can feel free to access it, and you can visit my GitHub repo to download this and customize this project based on your need. Yeah, I'll see you next time with another exciting one. Until then, signing off. Do the YouTube algorithms, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time with in another exciting one. Thank you so much.